German-made Leopard 1A5 tanks have begun to arrive in Ukraine in large numbers. A week after the first photos appeared online depicting one of the 40-ton, 4-person tanks apparently near the front line, we now can confirm the identity of what might be the first brigade to operate the lightweight tanks. It's the Ukrainian Army's 44th Mechanized Brigade, a possible model unit for the Ukrainian Army's ongoing force generation as Russia's wider war on Ukraine grinds toward its third year and the usual mud-bound early winter stalemate sets in. The newly formed 44th Brigade's main equipment, Leopard 1A5s and Polish-made Wolverine fighting vehicles, should be available in large quantity through the coming year. A German-Dutch-Danish consortium so far has identified nearly 200 of the 1980s vintage Leopard 1A5s it can pay industry to recondition before shipping them off to Poland for training, and then to Ukraine for frontline use. Poland meanwhile has pledged to Ukraine 200 of the 25-ton, 8-wheel Wolverines, and could pledge more as production of the nimble fighting vehicle ramps up. Ukraine soon should have enough Leopard 1A5s and Wolverines to equip several brigades. These brigades will be unevenly armored. Yes, the Leopards have fast, accurate fire controls for their 105mm main guns. But their steel armor is just 70mm thick at its thickest, making them perhaps the least protected tank in Russia's 22-month wider war on Ukraine. The Wolverines likewise have effective 30mm autocannons, but their Polish designers wanted the vehicles to be capable of swimming. That meant reducing armor protection in order to keep down the Wolverines' weight. The 44th Brigade's relative lightness compared to, say, the Army's dozens of brigades operating Soviet vintage tanks, or to the 10 or so brigades Ukraine's NATO allies equipped for last summer's southern counteroffensive, could weigh on their potential for major offensive action. But it won't be the exact amount of armor protection on a few hundred vehicles that decides whether Ukraine can resume offensive action once the early winter mud dries up in January or February. No, Ukraine's main problems are threefold: artillery ammunition, mine reconnaissance and battlefield leadership. The prerequisite condition for any offensive action is fire's dominance, Jack Watling and Nick Reynolds wrote in a study for the Royal United Services Institute in London. Despite suffering frequent ammunition shortages, Ukrainian artillery batteries lately have managed to achieve local firepower superiority over Russian batteries. This has been achieved through blinding the counter-battery capability of Russian guns and the availability of precise and long-range artillery systems, Watling and Reynolds wrote. Ensuring the sustainability of this advantage by properly resourcing ammunition production and spares for a consolidated artillery park is critical, the analysts added.